How's it going, everybody? Let me know if you can hear me. If you can hear me, go ahead and like this video, but don't put a thumb up emoji or you will be banished to Leper Island. Is that still a place? Was that ever a place? I don't know. Is this mic on? All right. Go ahead and actually give this video a thumbs up. Helps the algorithm. It's our first live stream in how long? Almost 3 months. 3 full months. Did you guys miss me? Alright, I'm looking forward to this. It's great to be hanging out with you all. We got about 350 with us. It's been a minute. Brian Hardy, I appreciate you. Really looking forward to WatersAbove University relaunch. Second cohort will be joining us very soon. Had a bunch of people on our wait list looking to join, so I'm really excited. Have some of y'all joining us. I gotta make sure my mic is working because kind of being a little weird here. I've been doing my best to make sure the mic quality is good because we had a lot of people complaining 3 or 4 months ago. I completely understand why. I heard all this additional noise too, but now it should be good. But I haven't done live streams in a minute, so when I'm using StreamYard, there could definitely be some mic problems. Okay, I'm seeing that everyone's saying mic is working fine. Great, great. I will assume that for the rest of today until I see some complaints. And the man, how dare you reveal my passion project? Shout out to Dan. Appreciate you. That's it. That's what we're doing today. Eyelashes, just eyelash reveal. Maybe I could turn one of my eyelashes into an NFT. What do you guys think? I think this is my higher purpose. I'm gonna start making facial hair NFTs with really specific like really specific descriptions, like one beard hair NFT created on April 4th. All right, we're gonna start looking through some of the just to give it a moment for some people to join in. Only got about 450 with us. I don't think the YouTube algorithm is going to be on our side today, but it's fine. You know, If you made it, you made it, and that's really all that matters. We're here. Happy man. Appreciate you, brother. Sending lots of love over to you. If you are still in Brazil, sending lots of love over to you there. Appreciate you. CMGs 510. Appreciate you. Sending lots of love. Krishtana. Dustin said I manifested this shit. Yeah, I wasn't gonna, gotta surprise people. Gotta surprise people. Servando, missed you too. Alex Tazi, have a good night over there in Israel. Cordy G, appreciate you sending lots of love. Carmine, this is an uncalled for comment. You know how many supporters we actually have in Israel, and they've been hearing me say what I say about Zionism for the past for the past 4 years, talking about the movie or the documentary Europa: The Last Battle, and a lot of them see where I'm coming from. A lot of them have woken up, and they don't want to be a part of this nonsense. So, I think, in our space over here, we're trying to be open to the fact that none of us asked to be born in the country that we're born in or under the cult that we're all cast under, you know? We don't get those choices, but we do all have the capacity, well, I wouldn't say all, but if you're here right now, you clearly have some hack in your software that's allowed your consciousness to expand to a capacity where you can allow in some additional light whilst most are still dim. So, Carmine, let's keep it let's keep it love here. And by the way, I'm even surprised, like, after all the things that I've said, after all the things that I've said about Zionism, I'm blown away when I have people from Israel or the things that I've said about the Ukraine psyop, get people from Ukraine still showing up and showing love and because they're aware, they're awake, they get what's going on. And they know that all these flags and nationalities and all of that is just division anyways, right? At the end of the day, you're all essentially just skeletons with emotions, you know? Maybe mommy, daddy gave you a name, but what's your name? What's even your identity? Does it really all matter? We make it matter, and of course, there's an agenda against it in many ways, so we don't even need to go there. You already know what I mean. But for the most part, as a conscious community, we have this awareness that we're in a simulation. And all of these countries and borders and taxes and tariffs and all this now, it's just more and more division. It's to get us to look at each other as different and to focus on our differences. Rather, at the end of the day, I'm sure if you put any human being in any culture, any year, with any amount of technological luxuries, when you strip us down to the core of our being, you see we're more alike than we are different. We all want the same things. We all effectively want survival when it's impeded upon. And then with the fact that a lot of us don't have to worry about that, I mean, especially if you're sitting here and you're on a live stream, that means you have internet connection, you have electricity, you have probably running water. You probably have a toilet bowl that produces fresher water than some people's drinking water, right? In some cases. So, if anything, you have a lot. I believe we have everything we need. It's clear that the agenda right now of the mainstream media and also social media, obviously, is to get us to just continuously focus on our differences. That's the purpose of this Israel thing. That's the purpose of this Russia-Ukraine thing. That's the purpose of this situation with Trump. It's to just get us all to hate each other. And then once we're hating each other, um, the elite get to do what they do. You know, Trump is playing golf with Biden and Putin behind the scenes, and we sit around and think that they don't like each other. One of my favorite things that I saw was the, funeral, or I believe it was the funeral of Jimmy Carter. Who cares if I'm right? It doesn't matter, but one of my favorite parts is just watch Trump and Obama crack jokes together at this man's funeral. Like, I've never been to a funeral where I just saw 2 dudes, like, you know, giggling, and then so clearly they're homies, right? But then the other best highlight of that event was the, George Bush walking over to, Obama and giving him the gut tap. It's the best moment. You're watching, like, Republican 9/11 psyop sitting next to QAnon MAGA psyop, sitting next to trans identity crisis. Like, they're just all 3 next to each other laughing, giggling, having fun. They're boys. They're boys. And you have Alex Jones screaming at the top of his lungs, like, making you all believe that these guys hate each other. It's like, it's hilarious. Anyways, we're just getting started. We're having fun. I'm on a different energy right now because 'cause I've had my own little reset internally. I've gotten some time away from doing the typical things in my schedule. Started the new university, Waters Above University. We finished the first cohort. We finished the first 9-week accelerator. It's completed. And now we're ready to move into the next phase. It's a year-long university, and what's so cool about it is having this new experience has allowed me to not be so focused on crypto and the markets and to focus on the thing that I think matters most, which is generating cash flow and creating business. And probably the most important part of creating business, which is creating honorable businesses with people you align with, um, morally, people you align with in your vision for the future. You know, there's one thing to make money, there's another thing to create business in a way where you're surrounded by people who all share a similar vision. And you all have to wake up to the fact that the reason why we keep losing in this world is because we don't share a vision together. We wait around for someone else with a vision to tell us what it is. And we say, okay, whether it's make America great again or build back better or whatever the fuck they're telling you. We're past 5 minutes, right? We could get spicy. I don't know what YouTube's new thing is, whatever. But here's the thing. You all want to know why the Zionists keep winning? It's because they share a fucking vision and they work together at it. Why can't we do that? Why can't we do that? You know, when a Jew wants a loan, they can get a non-interest loan from each other. Why don't we do that? What's wrong with us? Like, I'm not trying to say that, like, we all know about usury, right? You guys get this. I'm not gonna spend too much time there unless you want me to. Who knows? Wherever this can go, it'll go. But I don't have any problem with anybody, with Jews or Christians. It doesn't whatever. Every cult is a cult, right? But the point that I'm making here is like, why don't we become our own bank? Why don't we give loans to each other? Why don't we invest in each other's businesses? Why don't we create businesses together? Why do we keep complaining about we keep complaining about everything? Why is everyone complaining all the time? Everyone's like, "Oh, the economy sucks." It's like, bro, there's fucking hundreds of thousands of enlightened individuals. We could all come together and do something, yeah? So this university and this whole project of Waters Above is effectively that. You know, love me or hate me, which I know I get quite a bit of both, but hate has been the soup du jour lately for whatever reason, which again, it's all prana, and I have to absorb the prana and effectively transmute it, right? But where I'm going with this is love me or hate me. The one thing that we could all see that has been the mission statement of Waters Above for the last 4 years has been to bring enlightened, conscious individuals together and to not get spell casted and distracted by the nonsense that goes on the world stage, and to hopefully preserve our prana, preserve that life force energy, to then pour that life force energy into something that serves your purpose. So you're not being used as a gasoline for the New World Order's purpose. So you service to your community, your people, instead of a servant. So we're just on a different vibe here. And I think, this crypto thing is really funny. These markets are really interesting because you learn who everyone is throughout these cycles, whether it's at tops or bottoms, right? And it's so perfectly timed today to do a live stream because look at what the stock market just did. And why did it do it? Why are they telling you it's happening this way? Well, they're like, well, Trump and tariffs. What were they telling you on November 6th, 2024? Everyone is fucking like, "Yeah, America's gonna be the best. We're all gonna be billionaires. It's amazing. We won't stop winning. We will win and win till the fucking record scorekeeping card breaks," right? That's what we think. And I'm not even trying to, like, troll Trump, right? I don't he's a paid actor. He's reading a script, and he's doing really well. Shout out to Daddy Trump. He's fucking the GOAT, right? In many ways, he's the funniest, he's the most entertaining. I mean, he's like, if I could interview with any person alive besides Kanye, it would be Trump, and I would just talk with him about, like, how has it been for you having to serve all these different roles in your lifetime? And now you're at a role where you get the most prana out of anyone. You're the prana power plant of our universe. Damn, that's a pretty wild position to hold, right? That's a lot different from a king. It's like being an emperor or some shit. Now, my big point here that we're getting to is that we can see the energy right now in the world. It's building up, it's building up, it's building up. And I believe we are experiencing release, right? In many ways, we're experiencing release. And for any leaders that are sitting here amongst us, I know you'll feel these words that I'm about to share. Leaders have to bear the burden of the most euphoria and also the most depression, right? The most negativity. But one thing I'm learning from these Trump types and these people that are operating at the highest levels is how to like operate in stoicism when everyone else is blaming you, when everyone else is mad at you, when everyone else has something to bitch and moan about, right? And so also practice the same thing in the other direction when everyone's worshiping you, when everyone appreciates you, and everyone's saying they love you, right? Because we see that humans are quite predictable and our love is very selective. Our gratitude is very selective. How we appreciate each other is it's very transactional, right? For the most part. And I guess to wrap this all up, that's why I'm so glad that I launched the university when I did because it separates out all the, like, acidity, all the toxicity that goes on in, like, this crypto-only world that I asked to be in. I asked to be here. I'm still here. I made a video a couple days ago. I'll continue to make videos. I like doing TA. It's fun. I'm having fun. A lot of people aren't though, because it's like they forgot what they signed up for. People are like, "I wanna be rich." Yeah? You understand what comes with that? Clearly not. Clearly you don't know. Everyone, like, wants to be, like, great, but they don't wanna do what it takes to be great. I said this before, everyone wants to go to the moon, but no one wants to learn how to become an astronaut. Like, I could end the fucking live stream here. That's that's all you need to hear. Everyone wants to go to the moon, but no one wants to learn how to become an astronaut. Everyone wants to be rich, with the least amount of caloric burn. Don't you see what's going on, guys? Don't you see what crypto does to people? Imagine in the stock market, you can make by the way, the Nasdaq as of today is like 21.5% down, okay? You guys, like, you're all in crypto. We get a 21% 4-hour candle. Like, guys, like, we're desensitized, and that's fucking us up. It's destroying people. It's destroying people. A 400% gain is not enough. It's like nobody has any, sensory anymore. It's numb. And I think that was the purpose of blockchain, that was the purpose of crypto, that's the purpose of a lot of these things. It's to, like, remove the humanity from us, so all we're left with is the Aquarian essence. All we're left with is that vibe of, like, "I just put money in, and then I make a lot of money, and I don't have to do anything." Yeah. So I want everyone to do this exercise with me. Close your eyes. Everyone close your eyes, alright? Now, imagine you wake up with $1,000,000 for crypto, right? Or maybe you already have a million. I don't know. Does it make you feel better? Do you actually feel like, let's say you're someone who has $1,000 total in your bank account. You now have 1,000,000. What's making you actually feel better? Is it the optics of seeing that you have 1,000,000 in your bank account? Did your, like, relationships get stronger? Did your health get better? Did you get wiser? I'm just worried for, like, the crypto only crew because when all is said and done and they have all this money, they're gonna not only squander it on liabilities, but they're not gonna have any plan, and the plan they'll have will be obviously immensely selfish, which is fine. If you feel that you should live that life, then that's great. I'm not trying to say that I have the best, answer for you and how what you should do with your money, nor do I give a shit. But where I'm going with this is, like, I feel that if everyone just and I used to talk about this with the XRP people all the time, which, by the way, XRP is my biggest position, so don't nail me to the cross just yet, okay? Listen for a second. But, like, does any of this make you better? Does it make you, like, feel more excited about life? Does it make things somehow it's like you can scream at the flowers all day, but they'll never grow on your command. And in a lot of ways, this, like, crypto bull run thing, I think it does something to people where we've never seen it before. Like, it's so new to humanity, it's almost similar to AI. The fact that we got AI this quickly and it's this advanced, people don't know how to people don't know how to have a relationship with it in, like, a healthy way. So it's desensitizing us, it's making us brutal against each other, it's making us not wanna take any personal responsibility. We never wanna look in the mirror at ourselves. We just always want something to blame. It's like today it's Trump, tomorrow it's fucking something Elon did, the next day it's something BlackRock did or didn't do, then it's like the SEC makes, like, only gay crypto, CEOs can be, considered, legal tender it's like some weird shit. Everything is weird now. Everything's weird. I'm gonna move on. I think you guys get where we're going. We have a lot to look through. 25 minutes. Imagine Donald Trump gets impeached and Joe Biden becomes president again, and, Gary Gensler gets brought back into the SEC, and then crypto goes up. Ugh, that's like a setup for a knock knock joke. Hail Metallica, sending you lots of love. You said, "Went to the doctor recently, they checked my blood pressure and it was 190 over 115. They also did a blood lab check and said, "Have high potassium what?" Question mark. I mean, I'm not sure what you have going on, brother. I'm not sure what your consumption regimen is, what your exercise protocol, age, where you're located. There's so many factors here. But if you're just like an anxious person, like you just have this like anxious way about you, like, or you're really, really, like, always on edge, I mean, I'm not sure what other medications you are like, there's plenty of things that could make you this way, but, like, the most important thing is, like, how do you feel? Like, what made you go to the doctor? Did you need to? What's your feel like, how do you feel? And most of the time, the protocol here is, like, you need a reset in some way, shape, or form, right? Either it be you need to take a day away from your lifestyle that you have. People, they just trading view all day, watching candlesticks go up and down. They're like, "Oh, oh, oh, no, and they never, like, even practice EA. They're looking at number down, number down, and then they're like they don't even have really a reason to be checking it for the most part. Like, they're not like an educator in the space, they're not a consultant, they're not a hedge fund manager, they're not somebody who has, like, clients, they're not somebody who offers a paid service where like this is obviously a necessary part of their business model. Like they're just there staring at fucking charts, right? And that nervousness going on all day. I'm not saying that's the case for you, but if it is, book a a weekend in like a log cabin. Get away from the internet if possible. Get away from it all. Fast for those 2 days. Don't eat anything. Just be one with nature and your log cabin. Okay? Maybe don't talk. Spend those 2 days just in silence. You'll have a lot of conversations in your head. That's fine. Enjoy them. Make yourself laugh. I feel like I'm the fun comedian ever when I'm just thinking to myself in my head. It's great. It's entertaining. All right? Get out of the current pattern that you're in. Do a pattern break. Thank me later. Mike Rowland, appreciate you. Sending you lots of love. You said sending love, brother Jordan. I hope you're exactly where you need to be with peace of heart and mind and harmonic balance between the two. Be well. I appreciate you, Mike. Sending you lots of love, brother. I hope you're doing well. Truly, hope you're doing well. And I'm really looking forward to, I mean, I really look forward to seeing like these OG members of our community joining in lives like all these years later. It's so awesome. Really appreciate you. Anna, sending lots of love. Appreciate you. Much love over to Croatia. Chris B says doing a collab with Bearable Bull or Zach Rector anytime soon. So I actually did a collab with Bearable Bull. Um, I don't know why it's not published. It was done on March 14th, I believe. But I don't want to put homie on blast. Like I have no idea what's going on in his life. Um, that's his personal thing. Um, he recorded the podcast that we did together. I hope he's doing well. I have no idea what's going on. So I hope someday that interview or that podcast surfaces. As for Zach Rector, I've reached out to him. We haven't had an interview yet, but I think the way to get that going is if you guys were to reach out to Zach and just be like, "Yo, I know you brought up Waters recently in one of his videos. Waters will be down to do a podcast with you, and we'll see what happens." But yeah, I would love to chat with Zach again because I had a great time talking with him last time. He's a really solid dude. I could sense a very authentic wholesomeness to him, that you don't get in many people. PWW, I appreciate you. Means a lot to me. It's great to have you in our university. Andrew Mindy, Eyelash, and Unicorn Tear for the Magic Mojo. That's what I'm talking about. Send you lots of love. I appreciate you. Much love to Melbourne, Australia. Appreciate you guys. I'm just reading through the chat right now. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of people bring up, seeing a lot of people bring up the Bearable Bull. I have no idea. I kind of addressed a moment ago. Somebody before is saying that my mic is crackling. It shouldn't be. Stoner Steve says, "Sounds like you're not as stressed." Well, that takes years to balance your central nervous system. A lot of people ask me about that, like, how to stay calm and composed and still stay on top of my game and deliver. And the thing is like, you always have to do what you believe you should be doing, and you have to avoid doing the things that do not align with your purpose at that moment. And I'm questioning all the time, like, what should I be putting my attention towards? What should I be putting my prana into? I hope you guys do the same. Like, how many people should learn lessons from the way they feel? Instead, they let themselves continue to just get beaten down by all of it. In many ways, investing should do that to you. That's what it's done to me. This whole process of becoming an investor and not a gambler, what it's taught me is that if you have the appropriate time horizon and if you've put in the work to build your investment thesis, then what's there to be stressed about? Like, ask Warren Buffett what he thinks about this market correction right now. He's probably like, "I don't know why people are bitching. It's a discount." And those same people that were bitching the last time we had a discount didn't buy the dip. So what do you want me to say? I've been saying the same thing for 70 years. Like, that's literally like, I'm just like the translator in a little bit more like New York vibe of what Warren Buffett would probably be saying right now. He's like, "Stop bitching. It's a discount. Shut up. And why weren't you excited the last time we had a dip like this?" With a narrative tied to it on top of that. Guys, you need to wake up to the fact that if they're gonna tie a narrative to it, ugh, you should be salivating. You should be salivating. You should be rubbing your hands together like fucking Mr. Burns. You should be like, "Yes, there's a narrative too? My god." They might as well put whipped cream on top. And it's funny because some people are like, "Oh, Warren Buffett's, 900 years old," like, of course, but homie was saying the same shit when he was 50, so don't somebody we gotta give the man his flowers at some point. He said some stupid shit about crypto, but that's fine. He's a billionaire, and he's right. Crypto, like Bitcoin, he should have just said crypto. Crypto is rat poison. Like, at least rat poison kinda serves a purpose. What does crypto do? It's the Aquarian economy. You guys like this? You like the Internet of Things? You like it when your television talks to your fucking microwave, which also talks to your Amazon account, which also talks to your touch to pay Apple Wallet, which also it goes onto your Apple Watch, which has your biometrics on it, which then connects to Wi-Fi on a fucking infinite grid. You like that? You want blockchain on that? Well, guess what? That's what's coming. And guess who will be there every step of the way? Donald Trump. He is daddy blockchain and AI. You got swindled, kids. I love actors. I love actors. That's why Scientology is the greatest religion of all time because Scientology purposefully recruited actors. Don't you see it? I know I'm speaking to, like, a very, like, thin layer of no, actually, fuck that. You guys get what I'm saying. I shouldn't doubt you guys. You're legends. Everyone who's here right now, you guys fucking get it. I know you do. So you get what I'm saying. Guys, it's blockchain, economy, future. It's rap poetry, right? So now you're like, "Well, Waters, why invest in it?" An opportunity to turn some money into hopefully some more money, and then in the process, that should only be like 15 to 20% of what you give your life force energy to. The other, I don't wanna say the full 80% should be given to your business, but, like, it should be invested in yourself. We have it backwards. Humanity rather invests 80% into some fairy dust and 20% into themselves, and then they wonder, "Why does my life suck?" Because you don't invest in yourself. And you think investing in yourself is investing in some altcoin. It's not. You're investing in the altcoin, which at any moment can go up 1,000% or it could drop 99%. I don't make the rules. And when you invest in yourself and you trip and fall and you make a mistake, there's only one person to look at. And guess what? You can correct the person that you're seeing in that reflection. You can make that person better. You can't make some altcoin better. Most of them are fucking shit coins. So the tech is not even to upgrade. It's done. Once the devs finished it, its whole purpose is a cultural moment, like Trump coin. It's a cultural moment. We go through it all the time. It was really bad with the NFT thing, but like here we are. Damn, digital revolution, bro. You know, I respect digital revolution. Digital revolution, are you still here with us? You give us a show of hands if you'd like. I respect you because you're just saying it. You're saying it. You're like, I'm in this shit. Digital revolution's like in his garage right now, fucking making musket balls, you know, like he's like Davy Crockett. He's like, I'm ready to be on the front lines. Got my coonskin hat on. Like, I like this energy because at least he's admitting it, you know? Like, I fuck with this energy. I like this guy. Digital revolution. He said he never sold one XRP, not selling diamond hands. At least he admits it. Gotta love that guy. And I'm not being facetious. Like, I'm not being sarcastic. Like, I actually like, why does everyone wanna say they're a part of an army, but they don't wanna show up to battle? Like, you know? Like, I mean, at least if you're, like, showing up, it's pretty dope. Joseph Mendoza, this is it. Waters taught me how to boss up. I love that. Jonathan Fry, sending you lots of love, brother. I appreciate you. Eddie is tired of winning. Eddie wins so much that his middle name is Win. Eddie named his first cat Win. When Eddie gets food from the DoorDash delivery driver, he says, "I won today." And the delivery driver says, "What are you talking about?" And he says, "Shut up, I won." And then he throws a $100 bill in his face. Eddie wakes up in the morning, and when he looks at his ceiling, he has spray painted above his bed. It says "Win." Eddie is a winner. Eddie is so tired of winning that he doesn't even have a conscious he's not even conscious anymore. He's just always sleeping. Eddie's first name is Win, and his last name is Nim, like a weird alchemical palindrome. Rosie, you too. Mary, I'm feeling like all of this is just like a big like, they could tell us anything at this point, right, Mary? They could be like, "The tariffs are, 700% higher than," and we just be like, "Okay." And then we would do whatever. Like, nothing is reality anymore. It's all just fake. It's numbers. They can make up the numbers as they go. They can tell us what the numbers are. Remember when the Pentagon in, like, 2001 was like, "Yeah, we don't know where, like, $1 trillion went." Like, we have no idea. Like, just, "I don't know. I don't know." Like, bro, if they're not even keeping track of $1 trillion, what makes you think that they have accurate numbers for any of this shit? Like, is anyone questioning this? So I agree with Mary. Who cares? Even if there is none or is, I don't care. It's all fake. It's just numbers. Jesse, love you too, brother. Michael Lyon could use a loan. Somebody help her brother out. Sai, sending you love. I hope you're doing well. It's great to see you here. Member for 34 months. Yo, that's what's up. I appreciate you. Yeah. Dennis379, I love this. Quote from our boy Ronnie Coleman, the king. Lightweight, baby. He says, everyone wanna be a bodybuilder, but anyone doesn't wanna lift heavy ass weight. That's probably an exact quote, a little bit grammatically weird, but it's still we get what he's trying to say. The king, Ronnie Coleman, lightweight, baby. Yeah, I actually took crypto out of my name on YouTube in 2022. And as of right now, I think this is 2025. Is that true? Can you guys confirm with me? Can I get a confirmation? We in 2025? Anyways, I removed crypto from my name. I created this thing called Expansion Mastermind. I created another thing called Expansion Group Coaching. This was all covering stuff that I typically talk about in my live streams, everything from mindset, health and wellness, lots of things about attention, focus, mindset stuff. But also, so many people were fascinated with the health and wellness stuff that we talked about here in these lives that I decided to make something very comprehensive, step by step, very user friendly. I consciously took the word crypto out of my name because of that. All the branding that I have was that way. Only place I left it was on Patreon because Patreon, it was focused on the Red Pill podcast and specifically investing. But other than that, it's out. And the creation of the university was also another layer to further remove myself from being associated solely as some sort of crypto guy. Lacey Lou? Sure. I'm not sure what I said, but of course. Yeah, this is a good follow-up quote from Jay Marino. He says, "Everyone wants to fart at work, but no one wants to admit it was them." Uh, I love it. 2 trades, this is so true. It says you could be a millionaire with a headache or broke with a headache. You still only care about the headache. If you've ever had, like, a really fucked up migraine, you'd know this is facts. Remember, we talked about this also in the past with regards to, like, anything that's going on with pain or even, like, okay, I'm sure you've all heard this before, so I'm not trying to, like, enlighten you, but, like, if you're in a desert, the most important thing that could become the most valuable thing could be water, right? Like, if we're in the desert on, like, day 3, you think we give a fuck about, like, our crypto portfolio? Like, no, bro, we need water. How much do you think a cup of water could be sold for? Day 3 in the middle of the desert. Like, it's a lot fucking cheaper than when you're in the city. Sorry, it's a lot. I'm sorry. The reason I'm getting fucked up right now is because I'm thinking about the movie Dune, where he rides the sandworm. So it's like, I love that. And then one time I was live stream and I brought that up and I just made myself laugh. And I'm thinking about that moment. So yeah. Anyone who is invested in cryptocurrency, we're all essentially riding the sandworm. Got a super chat from KT411GCN. Really appreciate you sending lots of love. You said grateful for you. Let's say assets like XRP appreciate beyond belief and holders have more money than they need. Would it giving relatives money be a good idea, or will doing so hinder their personal growth? This is tough because I mean, we got like 700 people live with us. Thousands of people will listen to this. Some people might not like my answer, and I could already see where it's coming from. But here's my thing. Trying to look at the picture. I'm not sure if your name is KT, but I'm gonna go with KT. Okay. Here's my thing. You shouldn't tell anyone you invest. I think all of you should keep that to yourself. But the funny thing is when people become crypto investors specifically, they feel like cool. They're like, "Oh, I'm a cool guy now. Like I hold Bitcoin, I have XRP," and they want to start telling everyone about it, right? Now, a whole bunch of things are going to happen from this. And I know it doesn't directly answer your question, but I think you'll see where I'm coming from eventually. Like, I am someone personally who got really into crypto, and then I wanted to teach all my friends and family, like, yo, you have to get into this shit because, like, the Fed is saying they're going to print money to oblivion, and, like, you got to kind of do it. You know what I'm saying? But, like, no one cared. They were like, I don't know. It's a scam, whatever. Right. And then when it started going parabolic in 2021, all those same people were like, "Bro, like, what's going on? What? Tell me what to do. What do I buy? Do I buy Dogecoin now? Elon talked about it today." And I'm like, "Ugh." So you have that problem. The second problem is now they know you have a lot more money. So if you have like people in your reality that are not even interested in their personal growth, which are many people. Let's just be honest. Like all these so called friends that I had and family that didn't want to take in the free education I was giving them about fucking cryptocurrency when the market was down, they didn't care about their personal growth. Now, I don't want to say that judgmentally, but I think I know those people well enough to be like pretty confident in what I'm saying. And I know because when I look back at like the way things went, when I look at like life now versus life then, like I could see a lot of them still in the same pattern. So they didn't want to take action to risk and to risk when everyone didn't want to risk. Anyways, I'm not trying to be judgmental here. I hope you all feel where I'm coming from. The point that I'm getting to is that A lot of those people that are not interested in their personal growth at all will show up from the woodwork asking for shit, being like, "I need help. I need this. I need that. Give me money. I know you don't want that." So here's my thing. Never give anyone money. Ever. Give them skills. Never give money to anyone. The only time you should be giving money if it's gonna make you acquire skills. This is why, like, I don't even want anyone giving any super chats here. Like, I would rather you invest in the Patreon. $9.99 a month, you can have a library of 450 posts, 200 full-length podcasts. The last podcast I released was 2 hours long, covering every investment I have, my entire investment thesis. You will walk away from that one podcast with skills. You will walk away from a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks of going through that library of stuff over on the Patreon with more skills. I'm not entertaining people with my work, especially on Patreon. Everything about extracting knowledge, wisdom, enhanced consciousness, and becoming a better investor, becoming a better person, becoming self-reliant. That's the purpose of WatersAbove University. So, don't ever put your money into just for the sake of giving money. Like, I don't even believe in charity, to be 100% honest. Like, I know a lot of people think that that's the way, but a lot of these like donations and shit, it's not even going to where you think it's going. And it's always coming with the energy of like, oh, I did something good. I gave money to an organization. I'm doing something good. Bro, that organization started probably as some sort of like oh my God, I don't want to go too deep into this now because I know some people are going to take it out of context and be like, well, there's people with cancer or like whatever. Bro, the reason everyone has these diseases is because they don't have knowledge or skills. People are eating themselves to death. People eat shit food all the time. And then they get diseases and we're like, why is everyone getting sick? Well, when you have children and you're feeding them baby formula and then you're giving them fucking fried chicken and pizza and cereal and ice cream when they're 4, 5, 6 years old, what do you expect? And why is that a problem? Because no one has the skill of agriculture or the skill of cooking. Everyone is now ordering Uber Eats for their children to have a meal, which is fine. Like, if that's what you want to do because you don't have time or whatever the excuse is, then stop fucking complaining when you have to take kids to the hospital all the time or they're getting sick all the time or whatever. Take some personal responsibility, invest in skills. Get more skills, become self-reliant, stop giving your money away for bullshit, and you will unlock the fucking secrets of the universe. Because what you'll start doing, and I learned this personally. Ooh, this is really good for me to talk about because I'm really grateful for this super chat and I want to give you value. And I want you to walk away with something that is going to keep you thinking for the next couple days. Okay, I believe we got through one part of it. The next part of it is I started a practice personally maybe like 9-10 years ago, consciously at least a decade ago. Okay, and I might have talked about this before, but for KT, I think this is important for me to bring up. Every dollar that I spend now, I look at it as an investment. So when I get a coffee now, the reason I don't go to Starbucks or whatever, and I like try to go out of my way to find like a specialty coffee shop that does their due diligence by buying their beans from either a roastery that has a relationship with the farm, or they directly are a roastery and they have a relationship with the farm. So the farmers that they're getting the beans from, they actually know the producers, they know the family, they know who's actually growing the product. I like that. I like seeing the transparency where they're like, we paid this much for the green coffee, and I know exactly what these farmers are earning. It's a transparency report. I like that. Because now what's happening is I'm not just giving money to get a cup of coffee so that I could wake up in the morning. I'm investing in farmers. I'm investing in the operation, everybody that touched the product from point A to I get the cup. There's a chain here of families, of stories, of people. There's relationships along this chain. It's not just a barista, it's not just the manager, it's not just the owner of the cafe, it's not just the roastery, it's not just the roaster, it's so many things. At the farm, there's a processing facility, but like everyone, maybe 75% of people who are listening to this right now have no idea of what I'm talking about. And don't worry, don't take this personally. This isn't me like putting you on blast. This is me giving you an opportunity. Listen closely to what I'm teaching you right now. When you know where the thing comes from, you immediately now start to develop a relationship with it. You know what it is in some capacity, and you have some passion and interest in what it is. So, just by default, when you consume that thing, it will have a completely different vibrational frequency than you just going to Starbucks where, like, some 17-year-old college student or whatever just presses a button and hot diarrhea goes into your cup. Sorry to break it to you. But that's all that technically is. And I want you all to avoid that. Now, if you like Starbucks, whatever. Like, whatever. I shouldn't even talk about them. That's not the point. Where I'm going right now, if you have $5 today, you want a coffee. Look at $5 you're investing into this chain of relationships along the way, this chain of business along the way. And you were part of that. You were part of that transactional process. You were part of the energy of it all. Money is energy. Realize what it is. If you go to a restaurant, you do the same thing. Instead of eating fast food or whatever, where it's just like, you know what that is? Go to a place who actually cares about where they're getting their produce from. Go to a restaurant where the chef actually gives a shit. Go to a bakery where the baker actually cares where they get the grain from. And then miss me with all this coffee is bad for you, bread is bad for you, this is bad for you. It's not. There's relationships along the way in this whole thing where people were much more passionate about you. And by you saying it's bad for you, you're just calling out all those people doing something wrong, allegedly. Because you learned something in a fucking YouTube video. Somebody who's like looking at how many times has science misled us? Look at what 2020 through 2022 was. Science was fun then, wasn't it? You think food science is somehow authentic and true? You think it's factual? Sure. If you have a cup of coffee where no one had any fucks given in the whole process and they just roasted the shit out of it till it was burnt, and then it just comes out of a fully automated machine and it has your name written on the side of the paper cup that has plastic melting inside of it, and they call out your name and they're like, here you go. You're trying to tell me that's the same thing as people in Ethiopia who are sleeping next to the coffee shrubs who are actually growing the fruit, and they're there on the land, and they actually have in their culture a deep relationship with the land, with Mother Nature. You're trying to tell me that's bad? So the fact that we don't care about any of what I just said as like a species, it's separating us more and more from the item that we're giving our money to. We need to start thinking this way. Become conscious investors. Stop spending your money. Start investing with all of your money. And what happens when you do this is you don't even realize the abundance that is now funneling and channeling straight into your reality. I promise you. The people who took this seriously back when I first started my live streams and heard me say this for the first time, they were like, immediately implementing this can change your life. Now, you can utilize these same practices for things like investing in crypto. It's much harder in my opinion, but apply and let me know. Thomas, appreciate you. Andrew Bindi wants to know, why are there 700 people and only 41 likes? I don't know, man. I guess sometimes it's just the way it's got to be, you know? Only only 400 635 people. Whatever. I'll never ask for likes. I just want the likes to make sure that people could hear me. Initially in the beginning, it's nice. Lets me know that something's working, that I'm not just speaking into the void. Crypto bacon bits, I agree. Very true. Reset is the biggest underrated, misunderstood gift. Jay Marino says, "I'll thank you. Now I'm booking an Airbnb cabin. Need a break from my wife." Yeah, shout out to Jay Marino's wife, because she's probably a lovely lady. And it's not that you need a break from your wife. It's that you need some time to go within and to start being more grateful for your wife. Because without her, where would you be? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. No way. Dennis 379. If you're actually in a German UFO base in Antarctica, dude, you should be live streaming right now. What the fuck are people doing watching me? Let's all go over. Everyone leave this live stream and we're going over to Dennis 379 is gonna show us what he's up to in Antarctica. You savage you. What are you doing over there? Please let us know. Are there pyramids? Have you gone into any of them? Are there palm trees? What's going Let us know about this new Schwabenland. I believe something's happening over there. Tell us. Everyone leave my live stream now. Dennis379 is going to start a live stream. And then the German military is going to shut down this channel and oh my goodness. I'm having too much fun. Breathe in, breathe out. No way. Tavadzwa Tinuna. Much love from Zimbabwe. Yo, if you're really from Zimbabwe, can you hook me up with one of those like $600 trillion bills or whatever they have? One second, I gotta look this up. I think they're like 100 $100 trillion banknote. Bruh. How much does this cost? How much does this cost? 1 second. You guys seeing this? Zimbabwean $100 trillion note. The Zimbabwean $100 trillion note is a denomination of Zimbabwean currency. It is one of the world's largest denominations of currency. It was first issued in Zimbabwe on January 16th, 2009, during the period of hyperinflation when the prices of goods rose rapidly and the government printed money in increasingly larger denominations to match market prices. This is how all these AI accounts sound. You guys know that like 90% of the TA channels out there, especially in the stock market, are just all TA channels. Like I'll try to read like the way they do. They're like, and they all have like a weird, like you don't even know if it's an Australian or a British accent, but it's like the Zimbabwean $100 trillion note is a denomination of, I don't even know how the fuck they do it, but it's really cringy. And a lot of TA content is becoming AI. So watch out for that shit. Anyways, yeah, this has just a bunch of boulders on it. They're like, look at what this currency's worth. How much is it worth? How much does it give us though? Like how much, let me see. Cost in USD. Okay. My computer's like glitching right now for some reason. A lot of people are asking, the university enrollment will be open very, very soon. We're actually open for a wait list. So if you wanted to be some of the first to sign up, just go over to watersabove.com/university. And right over here below this video, you can join the wait list. It will probably be open within the next 48 hours. So our Patreon community, though, patreon.com/watersabove. If you to sign up to our mastermind community, which is only $9.99 a month, you would actually unlock the biggest discount available for Waters Above University. So it's a really good perk because it's only $10 to unlock a $55 discount. And then Waters Above University is a 1 year, yeah, it's 1 year at our university. And you get a 9-week accelerator course included with it. So during your first 9 weeks, you catch up on everything, get things rolling. And then for the rest of the year, we're working together in our group setting. I am doing a weekly Q&A. And also every other week, I do a weekly group coaching call. So yeah, our new cohort will open up for this April in about 48 hours or so. I think actually technically by April 8th is what we're aiming for. And our first Q&A for our university will be on this upcoming Thursday. I'm really, really excited to get things going again. Lots of information over on the website. And also, let me show you a little sneak preview. I believe you can see this is the page that's available for our Patreon community right now. So they have early access over there. Gives you a lot more information. Also, a little bit of a sample video our syllabus for the 9 week. Everything was created by me and my moderator helping me out, put some things together. Zero AI was used in this project. This goes through every single video that will be all the course lessons that are within the 9 week accelerator, tells you the difference, everything that's included with our university access. Big Q&A section answers all the questions. So all of that will be also available to the public in a couple days. So you could join that wait list over at WatersAbove.university. This is a good question from Fuiape. I believe I understand what you're saying. Let me just read it out really quickly. You said, I realized that there must be a belief that doesn't allow me to share my art. I always get to the finish line and then I don't finish. How can I overcome this belief even though I am aware? It's funny because there's a big section inside of our university that focuses on this. And it's the question we ask ourselves of, is it something that we need to explore more, or is it something that we need to release? And I actually give pretty much 2 full lectures on this concept and, like, the philosophy of it, because I am somebody who creates quite a bit. And I have a lot of stuff that I've never released. I have probably at least 1 full course that I have yet to actually share with the world, and, it's something I'm just kinda working on behind the scenes, and then I also have my music. So I'm a musician, I work on a lot of music. It's something I kind of do as my own personal therapy, so I make, music as much as I possibly can. It's been tough for me the past 3 months since launching the university, but it is something that I still put energy into when needed, and I use it in a very therapeutic sense. And I have at least a full album, maybe 2 albums that I could release. It's just I am waiting for the time to commit to just putting the final touches on them, working with a producer so we could, get everything sounding good, like high quality from the mixing and mastering side of things. But I'm in no rush, and, if you're somebody who's been following along my work, you know that every single week I put out a full-length podcast, the Red Pill podcast. That alone takes me an entire day to create. From start to finish, it's usually about 8 to 10 hours. So a lot of people don't know that, but I'm being honest. Every Red Pill that I put out, from the moment I get going on the project to the moment it's released and shared with the world, it could be a 10 to 12-hour day in some cases. With the What I'm Investing in special that I worked on, it was absolutely the case. So what I would say is practice is huge, but also creating some sort of responsibility to release things regularly, regardless of where you're at with, like, your own level of perfectionism. And what I like to say is practice over perfectionism. So I always look for opportunities where I could practice more, even if it's something that I don't intend to release. And that's kind of like what I talk about with my music. So you need to kind of shift the mindset away from perfectionism and look at the releasing of your art is just its own practice. And it will be. With the creative process, there's stages that have different levels of practice, right? Like, look at it from the basic angle of sports, right? Let's just say we're talking about boxing, right? I'm not a boxer, but I'm just going to put my mind in the head of them for a second and go through a couple of basic scenarios here. Well, one, you have to eventually fight somebody who wants to defeat you. So that is not something you replicate in a training setting, because once you're in the ring and you have audience watching you, there's so much different pressure, and there's, of course, the win or the loss will be counted on your official record. Or if you're like a belt holder, you're a title holder, like, you get your ass knocked out in training, you don't have to lose your belt. You get your ass knocked out in the ring on fight night, you lose your belt. Like, you lose that what you've worked for in a way. So the relationship you have to have with winning and losing has to be its own practice, okay? Some people go a career, and this happens all the time. You guys could study this. It happens a lot in the UFC, I believe, also. When people are like undefeated, then they get their first loss, and especially if it's a knockout, they then start to unravel. They start to have a lot of problems with like maintaining the older version of themselves. Their confidence is shot. So they don't have the practice of losing. Losing is its own practice. You feel me? I make videos and I have people that hate my videos. I have people that enjoy them. I have people that say this was bad. And I have to go, okay, great. Thank you. I'm very cautious about what I believe that is honest feedback and criticism and what's just hate. Of course, you have to have thick skin to be in my position, especially with 100,000 people that could, watch your art. But the point that I'm getting to is you have to change your relationship with perfectionism, change your relationship with practice, and look at how everything in and of itself is a form of practice. And perhaps you've already practiced enough on creating the art. Now it's time you need to practice on actually sharing the art and look at it from that perspective. And I believe it will change the way that you're operating. I'm just looking through some of your chat right now, guys. I have a little bit more that I can hang out with you, but I can't go too long today. Mm. Hail Metallica, I appreciate this vulnerability. You said, follow up. I'm a very calm, stoic person, but I have a bad drinking problem for the last 15 years. But your words about the pattern break are correct. I'm trying very hard to stop numbing and feel. Hail Metallica, one thing that I could say, and I think a lot of you already know this already, but if you want to work on this drinking problem, I think you need to switch to the qualitative side of things, which is what I was trying to explore earlier. For instance, with what you're drinking, do you know where, like, I don't know if you're drinking beer or vodka or like you're banging out cocktails I don't know what your deal is. Are you just like slinging back mojitos or I mean, and even if that's the case, even if you're into mojitos, are you trying to get the best quality rum that you could find? Like, I want you to go out of your way to try to look into the quality of the product that it is that you consume, right? Like, go for something more niche. And I have this like in myself, and I've talked about this before, okay? Like I'll get through this. Appreciate you, Hail Metallica, truly. But for those out there that have heard me say this a million times, whatever, sorry. But like when I first got into craft beer, within like months of me trying out a bunch of craft beers, I learned how to make my own beer. I actually took the time to teach myself how to make beer. And when you learn how to do it yourself, you don't become like it's like anti-alcoholic. Like, I'll be honest with you guys. When I learned how to make my first beer, it was the tiniest batch. Like, it could barely produce like 6 bottles, right? And I actually had a successful first batch, right? It was successful, which is fucking rare. And I didn't do it with a kit that like is just syrup. I actually I ground the grain myself, the malt, and I don't wanna waste your time, but I'm just trying to say that, like, I didn't do it like the beginner method, like, I did a semi kind of advanced method for, like, a home brew setting. I maybe got, like, 6 bottles out of it. They were okay, right? It wasn't what I wanted, but it was pretty cool to just, like, be like, "Shit, I did it," you know? And then I made another batch that was pretty good, it was, like, progress, and then I made a 3rd batch, and it fucking failed. Something went wrong, like, it fermented weirdly, and it, like, was undrinkable. It was horrible, right? And that fucked me up because I was like It's like losing a I don't wanna say a child, but, like, bro, it took, like, 2 months to be like, "Shit, this isn't gonna work," like, and you're like, "Fuck," and then you lose the whole batch, and you're like, "Damn, bro." The next batch of beer that I made that was successful, I was, like, babying it, like, I had a whole different respect for beer. I was babying it, everything, I was, like, dialed in. It was so cool to see my relationship with the product change over the time of learning how to be a creator in that particular thing. So now whenever I drink, like, whiskey or sake or whatever, like, I'm always trying to learn a little bit more about what it is and to not just be trying like, never try to get drunk, never numb yourself. Learn about the thing. Get involved in it in a more conscious sense. Now, I'm not a promoter of drinking alcohol. I'm not telling you that it's healthy for you. I'm not that you should all do it. I'm not saying you should all go learn you should go to Scotland and learn about Scotch. No. But my point is that a lot of people in this world right now are numb. They're abusing a lot of things, whether it be alcohol, whether it be fast food, whether it be porn, whether it be each other. We fucking abuse each other because we don't care about each other anymore. Because we don't care about anything anymore. We don't wanna know how anything is made, we just want everything made for us, we're just consume, 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 no creation. No tapping into our creative essence. So, again, really big, kind of overarching priority in Waters Above University is to focus on that exact thing. Like, dialing in what it is that you're passionate about, discover your passion, monetize your passion, build a business around this, being a conscious creator for conscious consumers. Okay, I agree. I agree. I try to not underestimate my I know you guys are lit. Dustin, okay, Dustin, I don't know if you, follow my X account. Of course, you don't have to, but over on X, I don't know if you got let me read what this says real quick for the people who aren't looking at the screen. Dustin says, "Funniest part of the tariff narrative is Daddy Trump imposing them on uninhabited islands near Antarctica." Okay. Well, there's the other side of this, which is, like, how silly it is to do to certain places in general, right? So, anyways, getting back to what I said on X yesterday or whatever, I said Trump this is, like, quote, unquote, okay? I said Trump should put a 33% tariff on Haiti and really strong arm them, you know? That was all I said. Somebody got mad, like, took that personal, and I was like, "Whoa." Now, obviously, X is, how do we say it, guys? What is X? It's like the soft boy, big brain, coward gladiator coliseum for people who are the ultimate keyboard warrior, but also need X because it's part of their, like, purpose in life, sadly. Now, I get what X is. I just don't understand why people take X serious. Like, why do people take everything shared on X? Why do people take the jokes that I say seriously? Can we like have a moment of silence for the person who thought that me saying Trump should tariff fucking Haiti, a place that's making like dirt pancakes on basketball courts? How could someone take that seriously? Like, and by the way, I love Haitians. I've worked alongside Haitians for about 4 to 5 years in one moment of my life where I was a traveling trainer for this one company. Bro, they loved me too. Why can't people take jokes? Why can't people take joke? Like, This is me being like, Trump should do a 20% tariff on Zimbabwe. What is wrong with people? Why doesn't anyone want to laugh anymore? Ha ha. Hee hee. God, everyone's so fucking boring now. I hope you guys are having fun laughing. Chad Bennett, glad I found you last year. I appreciate you, brother. Sending you lots of love. I hope you're getting a couple laughs out of this today. Shanti, 1949. I mean, I do feel there's a breakout imminent with silver for sure. I'm actually going to be covering gold this weekend in my Red Pill podcast, so I might cover silver as well. If you guys care, anybody in our mastermind community at patreon.com/watersabove. If you're interested in me covering silver, I'll cover silver and gold together. I'll also be covering the stock market full. So the Dow, S&P, NASDAQ, Russell, I probably won't look into any other markets. Like I know they're all crashing like as a symphony. Maybe I'll look at dollar. Gold call we had last year was fucking wild, man. Because before, like right around the event happened, the October 7th, you all know. Uh, yeah, you know. But yeah, gold, fuck, man, pretty wild breakout. So yeah, that was crazy call to get into gold, and we did. I guess I'm up like almost 60 something percent, which is crazy for gold. So yeah, caught it before the breakout. Pretty wild. So I'm definitely looking forward to revisiting the gold chart. I might cover silver if you guys care. I'll be covering obviously Bitcoin, XRP, ETH. Bitcoin dominance is very important to cover right now too, as it's hit 63%, which was something that I was telling you all to anticipate for the month of April. Looked like we got there at the very beginning. Stock market was tanking today, but we could see crypto was holding. I've told you guys about these dates over in our mastermind community for the last 2 weeks. I said anticipate crypto going down into around the 2nd or 3rd of April, and then crypto to actually pivot around the 4th. And then we have Satoshi's birthday on the 5th tomorrow. It's working out perfectly. And the fact the stock market is crashing on this day of April 5th, the 4/4 date, and then we had Trump do the crypto event, the crypto Truth Social post for the 3/3 date, leading into that pump and dump, and then we had the 2/2 correction that happened on February 2nd, like, which means, guys, that don't be shocked if for Cinco de Mayo, for 5/5 date next month, there's another thing that happens. And this is actually aligning with the C19 crash. So it's perfect the way that like, I know it sucks to see crypto down and all that, but it feels like the worst of it is behind us with regards to crypto. Crypto crashes much quicker than the traditional markets. And what we saw today with the amount of money that left the traditional markets and then it flooded in, not all of it, obviously, but we've seen like 30 billion flood into the crypto market. That's not happening by accident. This is like the reaction we saw from the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Where like, yes, we had harsh correction in general, but like crypto didn't get that fucked over by the exact event because they had another side narrative of like, well, everyone's boycotting Russia now. Well, Bitcoin is the quote unquote solution to that's not my truth, but that's what the narrative was. So, anyways, I'm gonna make a fire red pill this weekend, as always. Really excited to share that with everyone. Warrior Bones, sending you lots of love. You said, what's something you've always wanted to do but haven't yet? See a sumo wrestling match? I don't know. I've hung out with lemurs before in Hamburg, Germany. That was pretty cool. They're awesome. Lemurs will like jump on your back. They'll start like they're just cool. Lemurs are cool as shit. I would probably go to Madagascar if that's something I haven't done yet. I would go to Madagascar and I would hang out with lemurs. People are boring. Mm. What else? I don't know. What haven't I that I want to do that I haven't done? Um, I think we should start a I think our whole community should just make our own economy. That's like what I want to do. I want everyone in this community. Like WatersAbove University is really sick because it's kind of like the gathering point of the people that are really not fully crypto vibes. And we're here to create together. It's a co-creation space. So WatersAbove University, with the price that it's at for a full year's access in 1 year, should be probably the most lucrative investment in yourself of your entire life for how cheap it is comparatively to all the other education out there, and the fact that you're going to be surrounded by people who would want to do business with you. So that in and of itself is the launch pad to some other insane ideas that I have for the future that I'm very excited about, very stoked for, and I think we need to take this shit seriously because I'm not sure what could go down into the years of 27, into the year of 28. But I'm feeling that as we get closer and closer to the next sabbatical year, to the next Shemitah year, our like whole world as we know it last year and this year is going to be completely different. Okay, like dramatically different. So I'm not a proponent for like making some sort of community commune situation. I think that's a little not my vibe, but there's opportunity for things that are projects that could be worked on, such as retreat centers and concert venues, hotels. I mean, we could all easily do this together. So I do very much think that that needs to be the vision. And that's something I guess I want to do that I haven't done already. But it's in my mind. I'm working towards it year by year. And I feel like it's the perfect timing. Scott Tucci Brakamoto, I hope you're doing amazing, brother. Sending you lots of love. Thomas, Lucian, I appreciate the super sticker. Appreciate you, brother. BZ says, is Bearable Bull still alive? I hope. Last time I spoke with him was about a half a month ago, like 2 to 3 weeks ago. I haven't heard from him since. Hmm. 3Clone3 says, hey, brother, please share your tooth care routine. Recently had a root canal done. I know you oil pulling. What about brushing toothpaste? This is a tough one because I do promote oil pulling. But there's also a couple things that you should take into consideration when you're eating solid food. So a couple of things that I could run by. First is oil pulling is really solid to do, but you need to be cautious about how long you do it. I don't recommend oil pulling for like 10 plus minutes. A lot of people do. I think oil pulling is something that's better to do, especially when you're having tooth issues with your teeth or gums or whatever's going on with your oral hygiene. Consider like 5 minutes of oil pulling every single day for like about 2 weeks, and that will probably have a much more profound effect than doing like a 15 or 20-minute session once a week. So, yeah, look at it kind of like a routine maintenance, something that you could do. And you don't need to do it every single day forever, although some people like to. Some people like to just do it like 2 minutes every day, like a short, quick one. Um, Oil I recommend would be cold pressed sesame oil, and the highest quality coconut oil is fine as well. You don't need to go out of your way to buy these like Ayurvedic oil pulling oils. Like you don't really need to, although they're not crazy expensive. Just the highest quality cold pressed sesame oil is the way to go. Yeah, 5 to 7 minutes, avoid 10, do it frequently. And then whenever you eat solid food, slosh your mouth with water afterwards. So when you're done with a meal, do not brush your teeth. Just take some water, slosh it around your mouth for like a minute or so, like a mouthwash, like as if you were using mouthwash. Spit it out. Do that 2 to 3 times till you feel your mouth is now cleaner. Don't brush immediately after eating fruit. Don't brush immediately after eating any meals. Don't brush immediately after drinking alcohol, especially. Obviously, reduce your alcohol intake if possible. Avoid eating food and consuming alcohol at the same time if possible. And when it comes to eating things like dried fruit, like dates or granola, like if you're eating these like granolas and stuff, that will stick to the teeth. So you really need to be keeping up with that sloshing the water practice after eating. And great thing about like fruits like apples is they clean your teeth for you. So breaking your fast, this is something that I recommend doing. Like break your fast with an apple that's sliced and it has a high quality cinnamon on it, like Ceylon. Really, really good for insulin, blood sugar spikes, many other things, packed with antioxidants as well. And then it's not just like getting pure sugar in the body immediately, which there's nothing wrong with because we are glucose beings anyways. Like your body's going to convert everything into sugar no matter what for your brain, especially on the first meal. But if you're somebody who wants to look out for that kind of stuff, then I'm giving you the little hint that if you add the cinnamon, it will blunt that spike dramatically. So that's a little tactic you can do. And also cinnamon's amazing for your dental care as well, for your dental hygiene as well. So yeah, I think if you practice those things, you'd be really solid. And maybe if you need to, the oil pulling before you go to sleep is fine. Pinocchio Pete, I think everyone want to eat. Um, Eat what you want to eat. If people ask me what I think is the practical protocol and what's ideal for healing, I'll share my truth. But I'm not here to promote that people believe that my truth is your truth. I really don't. I don't care. Eat what you want to eat. Wow, Lee. See, this is the stuff that I find to be really interesting. Somebody says, no way that Jordan's a vegan. He's too smart for that. But then what if I was? I get this question all the time. Like people remember when people are like, are you a Christian? And I'm like, well, the problem with me answering that, the problem with me answering the am I a Christian thing is if I say the wrong answer in your belief system, then you're going to completely change everything you feel about me. And you know what's interesting is I never do that to anyone. I never do that to anyone. Whether they're a carnivore, whether like they're a fucking yoga cult leader, whether they're a Scientologist, whether they're a your titles and your identity and your identity consciousness are meaningless to me. And I treat everybody in this world as if they're a soul. Sure, you borrow this rental vehicle called a body, But all this identity that we attach onto it, and then we judge people intellectually too. We're like, "Oh, you're a vegan. You're too smart for that." Or like like Lee. No, I'm not trying to go after Lee, right? Probably a good dude. But like that association, you see, like we all do this all the time to everyone. And why? You know, when you say things like when you do this to other people, you're effectively hurting yourself more than you think. So I just kind of like again, I've been thinking about this more in the past couple weeks when I've been taking a break from doing the live streams. It's like I just want to like reevaluate the way that I look at reality and the way that I project, but I could also be confident in delivering my truth. So if somebody asks me like where my take is on real, I'll tell them here it is what it is. Rico Don sending lots of love. Appreciate you. Much love over to Jamaica. I've never been to Jamaica. I would love to visit. So maybe someday I would love to visit Jamaica. Yeah, this is just wrong in so many ways, but yeah. Okay. Anyways, guys, I got a little bit. I got like 10 minutes. All right. Got 10 minutes. Make it through as much of this as possible. Mary, that's what's up. Learning how to become her own banker. I love that. Jennifer says that these live streams of consciousness are her favorite. Well, you know what? I'm very grateful to be a part of your journey. I'm really grateful that you feel that way. Professor Walter says, when you post music, I will eventually, soon, maybe. I enjoy just keeping the music to myself, you know? I need permission to stream. Yeah, we all know that Hitler has been hiding in Antarctica all these years. Yeah, what happens when we do our first meetup in Antarctica? What happens when I'm like, hey guys, the first meetup is in Antarctica at the German military base that our boy Dennis is at? He said New Schwabenland makes the Swiss Alps look like a shithole. So funny, dude. This is great. I missed you guys. Wait, no way. Chris, you're saying that it's illegal to take out the Zimbabwean $1 trillion note since wow, that's so strange. Jonathan Fry, is this true? You're saying that the one wait, I need to know. What's the 100 trillion Zimbabwean dollars worth in USD? Rabbit 42 sending you lots of love. I appreciate this generous super chat. You said, brother, I need advice for a brother of mine that just got out of prison. He is starting his life over. He is an artist and he has a great heart. What are some options for him to hit the ground running? Any advice? How would you start from zero? Mm. First thing I would do, Rabbit, is I would let them know that they're not starting from zero and that every single experience that they have, that they've accumulated throughout their entire life, including the local experience of being imprisoned, was all part of their journey. And it's all opportunity for them to transmute whatever was going on into the now. All that is will be. And this idea of starting from zero could be very demotivating for a lot of people. I already think we have everything we need. I'm not entirely sure what your brother did. I'm not entirely sure what your brother represents. So I think it's very important for him to come clean on what he represents. What's his vision? What is he trying to do with this so-called future? What is he trying to do with this life that he has now? If he's an artist and he wants to embody being an artist, well, then create art by tapping into all the experiences that he had that lead up to this now. Turn your pain into the art if needed. Some of the most beautiful art is. Some of the most beautiful art that we all get to consume is somebody else's pain that they shared with us, that they were vulnerable with. And that's beautiful. So he has all this life force in him. He has to channel that life force. He has to transmute that life force. He has to put it into something, but it has to have a vision. It has to have something. Where's this light shining on? And don't look at life like you're starting from zero, because you're here. There was no 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There, all of the numbers are even illusions. They're created by the mind of man. So we're here expressing ourselves, and we're put into some situations where we could either express ourselves fully or we can't, in whatever capacity that is. He needs to be put into a situation where he could express himself fully and get out any of that stored tension that he's holding on to. And this is why, with some cases, when people go to prison, they find layers of themselves that they never knew even were. They access layers of consciousness that they weren't able to in this like society. And they also can sometimes find things that they didn't have available to them in this world. One of those things could even be community, interestingly enough. So again, this all comes back to vision. He needs to be clear on his vision. He needs to be clear of what he is going to commit to and what his why is moving forward, and create art from those experiences. Tap into them, tap into the pain, tap into whatever those feelings were, and then put that out there to the world. And tell your brother that there is no zero. There is no restart. There is no reset. Everything is just going infinitely, and it will always continue to. He needs to be part of that. And when you embrace the chaos, you can become part of its order. Andy, I appreciate you. You said, is XRP 444 soon? I took a screenshot at 333. You know, the month of, I want to say the month of July and August, very fascinating to me with specifically the crypto market. And I've been talking a lot about these July, August into September timeframe pretty much past year. I brought it up for the first time in the months of April, May of last year. And then during May, I was wrapping up this crypto decoding blueprint project. And in that crypto decoding blueprint project which was released right at the very end of May of last year, so almost a year ago, I brought up this theory called the double peak cycle. And in that, I brought up the initial move for Bitcoin before the March eclipse, which we already passed through. And then I brought up another move up for Bitcoin before the total lunar eclipse of September 7th of 2025. And I was calling that one the really, really dangerous one, because especially if everything was to have a relief rally up through the May timeframe, perhaps a little bit of a correction in May, but then get bought back up through July into August, which we've also seen to be a pattern pretty much for the past 5 years, including the C19 crash, post C19 crash. Perhaps many of you remember, Bitcoin actually broke out of a horizontal trading range that it was kind of stressed in from May through July, and then we had a move up into August. So the release of energy has been very clear lately that it likes to kick in 3 separate intervals, one of which we already pushed through. And the question is, will we get another one of those later in this year at the same time, which would be October, November, December, like we did in 2023 and 2024? So the chop that we could experience between now and then could be very, very dramatic as we're in a lunar cycle. And if I was to pinpoint when I would assume a new all-time high for XRP or XRP to enter price discovery, it could be as early as late May, or it could be in harmony with Bitcoin dominance breaking down, which is likely to start by the summertime. So that would be the actual solstice, late June. That to me makes the most sense because that's the energetics that we're kind of dealing with right now. So I hope that answers your question, but it kind of points to July. Lana Victoria says, I'm in. I'm not sure what she's in, but dope. Oh, going to Antarctica for the meetup. Let's go. Let's do it. All right, guys, I have to sign out. Got to 2 hours with you all. We need to wrap this one up, but let me get through some of these super chats. Andrew Mindy, I appreciate that. Appreciate your super chat. Sending lots of love. You said, do you offer any one-on-one in your university, not crypto, just larger things like build family, community, and business together, master plan type stuff? I'm an artist and entrepreneur as well. Andrew, I do actually offer one-on-one. Usually my protocol is people will book a one-on-one call, which is available on my website. And now I'm offering a package, which I haven't really released to the public, but here it is. But it's going to be a combo of the one-on-one call with access to WatersAbove University. So it's just the cost of those combined. You could do it in one payment. And what we could also do in that is I could offer a call package, which is something that I usually offer to clients who reach out to me personally. And I have one-on-one clients that I work with, some very high net worth people that I've been collaborating with for a long amount of time. And I have some people that are newer that I've been working with on my newest program. So yeah, reach out, Andrew, and perhaps we can set something up. Much love. Lane, miss you too. Hope you're doing well. Sending lots of love out to, I believe, Arizona. Yes, I believe I'm right. See, there's tens of thousands of people. I still do my best to remember everyone, sometimes their locations. Oh yeah, Lane is, I think, I don't want to put her on blast, but I believe she's a real estate agent. I don't think I'm putting you on blast because you shared a public comment in one of my videos, but anyways, I'm very interested in the health of the housing market, and I believe that we're still toppy, and we have quite a bit of downside ahead. I don't want to say like a full-blown housing market crisis, but I think potential for it. Who knows, I mean, it wouldn't shock me if it really, really started to show its teeth in the next, Shemitah, so into 2029. Perfect for our good old Agenda 2030. Go He 22, and I wasn't making that up. There is literally a documentary showing people making pancake like clay pancakes with barely any flour inside of them on abandoned basketball courts in Haiti. And this person thought I was being serious about my joke with Haiti. It's hilarious. Like, you really think we're gonna tariff a country that and somebody made a savage comment. They said the only thing we're importing from Haiti is Haitians. Yeah, shout out to Haiti though. I knew this lady named Claudette who used to make this Haitian black bean stew called sauce pois. Fucking awesome. It was so good. I loved it. All right, guys. 2 hours. It was amazing hanging out with you. Truly. I love you all. Like I said, we have Waters University enrollment kicking off very soon over at watersabove.com/university, or you can go to watersabove.university and you'll see over here, if you scroll down a little bit, it says join waitlist. All it is just typing in your email, and that way we can send you access when we open. We'll send it to you directly. So this way, you know, we're now onboarding for our April cohort. Really, really looking forward to having you join us over there. And also, this will be the page that's available for our Mastermind community. So for those who are over on our Patreon, you're going to see this link was released today. It also included a discount code for the university. So the Patreon supporters get the one and only discount available for our university. And I'm really looking forward to having some of you join us. There's also a little sample video over here. It's about 3 minutes, shows you a couple of things that we were working on, a little something. And then also we have our syllabus over here, breaking everything down. It was all done using numerology. So it's 11 master number, 22 master number, 33 master number. And then as we shift halfway, go to the power numbers, 44, 55, and then we end on week 9. So it's 3 blocks, 6 phases, 9 weeks. It's your 369 code. And then we have these 5 pillars. Everything is going to be listed over here on this website, which will open up very soon when the public launch hits on April 8th, I believe. Covers everything you need to know. Very, very thorough frequently asked questions section. So for those who weren't with us last time, but they wanted to wait for the first cohort to move through and kind of see what's going on, well, this will be a lot more information than last time, as now the 9-week university accelerator is complete, and that will be included with the university membership. So I'm going to leave this one here. We went for 2 hours. This is pre-recorded, guys. So if you missed today's live or you're just joining in now, don't worry. You can listen to the playback. Really appreciate and grateful for every single one of you. Wishing you all a beautiful rest of your weekend in the Matrix. And I'll be catching some of you tomorrow on the new Red Pill podcast over at patreon.com/watersabove. Much love.